So today I'm going to explain about the FAST API, and I give a title FAST API Starter because we are going to start and we are going to look at how to install and then how to do the first FAST API. So I set up 3 categories for our lecture today. We are going to look at the Hello World, so the basic environment in PyCharm, and how we can deal with parameters. And the last one, we are going to connect with the HTML. So let's start with the installation and how we can use the FAST API. So in the first hour, we will deal with this one. Today, we are going to use the PyCharm community. So I hope that you already installed the PyCharm community in your computer. The PyCharm community is an open source integrated development environment, or sometimes we call it ID. So it includes some other Python environments. For example, if you want to use the Python script or Jupyter notebook, so you can use those in the PyCharm community. And the good thing is it includes the web development. So you can use HTML, you can use Django, and you also can use FAST API. Before we go into the detail about how to use the FAST API, I think it's better to know what is FAST API. So FAST API is a modern Python web framework. Last year, I still teach you Django. So Django is also one of the popular web framework, but nowadays people try to adopt the FAST API more than Django because many people said that it is very efficient in building the API. So what is API? We call API is the application programming interface. So application programming interface or API are set of rules, protocols, and tools. So later we will see the rules, what are the rules, then we will see what are the protocols and what are the tools that enable different software application to communicate and exchange data with each other. So this is a very good approach, especially when you have the web and then you want other people or you want other partners or you want other industries to connect into your web. So we want to communicate and we want to exchange data. The API, I mentioned it, they function as intermediaries. So intermediary means this is in the middle. If you have something and then you have another thing, so we call this is, here is the intermediary or the middle part. It allows developers to integrate existing services. So for example, payment processing. If you do payment with your credit card, if you do payment with KakaoTalk, if you use payment with NeverPay, and etc. Actually, there is the intermediary part. If you use Maps, so there's also an intermediary. If you use Terafits, actually there's also an intermediary. And we use this API without rebuilding them. It means we do not need to build another website we don't need to build another database. We just reuse the data and then just build this intermediary. The common types include REST, SOAP, and WebSocket. Maybe we'll take a look. REST, SOAP is the old technologies, and maybe I will explain a little bit about WebSocket. So this is one figure to represent about the API. Once you are a client, you want to request something. So the end user with the browser, you can request something and the request will go to the API. And then this API will connect to the server, and this API will provide you something from the server so that the end user will see what is the result from the request. So for example, if you are a customer and then you want to make an order about food in the restaurants, so you can make the order and then you have the intermediary who is the waiter. Now we want to change the role of the waiter with kind of tools. So we can say this is the intermediary. This is the intermediary. Instead of the waiter, we can do something with the API. And when we have this API, we can connect directly to the chef. And then once the chef finishes with the food, we can bring the food to the customer. So we know that now there are many restaurants, they use the easy way to order without the waiter, and then they use robot to deliver the food to the customer. So actually, they are trying to apply this kind of API. So the FAST API, it actually a new kind of environment. So FAST API has been developed by this guy. It was published in 2018, so it's very new part. And the current version is 0.135.1. The current version of Python is enough because the latest version requires the Python 3.6. So I'm not sure if you are using the latest Python, but if you are using the Python more than 3.6, I think it will be enough to use the FAST API. And people claim that it is one of the fastest web frameworks of Python, because you learn Python a lot during our in our department. We use Python a lot. So from the computer programming, you learn Python. From the data structures and then business analytics and other courses, you will use Python. So I think it's good if we also learn the web framework with Python. So yeah, we are going to take a look at the FAST API. Okay, so let's try. Okay, now I found out that there are some kind of different version, but I'm not sure with the version in this computer, but let's try. My computer has the PyCharm community, but the result is different with my laptop PyCharm community. I'm not sure which version that you install. If there is any difference with my course material, please let me know. Okay, so in this first hour, let's try together how to do the hello world. So there is a PyCharm here. So I will open the PyCharm. Oh, this is in Korean. So let me do the setting. Mhm. Okay, let me try with the Korean. I'm not sure how to change the language here. 네? this one. 것 같아요. 이거는 다른 언어예요. Okay, let me try with the Korean then. Let me check on the break time how to change the language. But first, when you try to create a new project, so let me make a new project. Oh, that's good. There is a fast API. But I'm not sure if you have this fast API in your computer or not. Okay. So I install in my computer, there is the new fast API. But when I install in my laptop, there is no fast API. So that's why I designed this course material from scratch. So from the beginning. Okay. If you want to start from this one, I'm okay. But I do not know. What about in your computer? Do you see this fast API? All of you can see the fast API? Okay, if you can see the fast API, we can start with this fast API immediately. If you cannot see this one, then you need to start with Python. Okay. If all of you have the fast API, okay, let's start with this one. So there are some options. Okay. For example, they will ask you whether you want to connect to the Git. Okay, if you want to connect to the Git, Git means you want to connect to the GitHub. Okay. At this moment, I do not want to connect to GitHub, just use the local one. Okay. And we call it, this is interpreter. Okay. There are several kind of interpreter. Whether you want to use the VNV, VNV means the virtual environment, or you want to use the UV, not sure that one, or the basic Honda, or we want to set up our own environment. If you use the commercial version of PyCharm, you can set up with one environment, and then all projects can go to the same environment. Because we are using the community version, so every time you create a new project, you need to create the new virtual environment. So yeah, we need to create this new virtual environment, I think here. Okay, in the English section, it's the same. Project VENV, UV, base conda, and custom environment. By generating a new virtual environment, it means in the project later, we will have one set of Python libraries. So you can use those Python libraries. And whenever you send the files to other people, you need to also include those virtual environment. And yeah, this is where the Python you have. If you already have your Python files, then you can use this link. If you don't have the Python, you can just download and install it. As you can see here, there are some options. You can install the Python 3.13, 3.12, 3.11, 3.10, and so on. So maybe you have questions. Why they have those kind of versions? So some of the libraries in Python, they will work only in some version. For example, if you are doing with the machine learning, for example, later on, if you want to use PyCaret, okay. PyCaret is one of the library for machine learning. If you use this one, it only works in the Python 9, 3.9, 3.10, and 3.11. So higher than 3.11, PyCaret cannot work. So that's why in some of this IDE, they prepare what version of Python do you want to use. Now, this is the newest version, but some of the old libraries, they may not work properly. And this, which is location. It means where do you want to save your virtual environment setting. So here, later on, we will use this .venv to set up the virtual environment. So please pay attention about this one, especially when you send your files for your mid exam. As I mentioned to you, your mid exam will be about the code. So you need to code in this environment, and then you need to send the file. And you need to send also including this virtual environment, because every of the code will have unique virtual environment. If you don't send this one, I may have difficulties to duplicate your code. Okay. So there are two options here. Gibbon interpreter so package Sangsuk. What is it? Okay, so inherit packages from the base interpreter and make available to all projects. It means, yeah, if you want to make this to all projects that you create, yeah, you can also choose this one. If you make this one as the base for all other projects, yeah, you can also use this one. Okay. But please remember, okay, I think I will just use this option because it will be convenient for you when you do the mid exam. If you already click like this one, then at the mid exam, you may forget about the virtual environment. Okay, then let me just use this. So we have the new environment about the FAST API. So in the first part of this FAST API, you can see the which one is better? Ingonga? 아니면 이거? Which one is better? Drag or type? This one is better? Okay. Okay, then I will use this one. Okay. So after you create the new project, then you will see in the left panel, on the left panel, you will see the virtual environment library. So this virtual environment library means the library that you will use throughout the Python. So for example, if you look at this one, you can see it includes the Python script, and it includes the library that you want to use during your project. Okay. So I mentioned to you before, this is important because if you already use the virtual environment in your computer, and your virtual environment, for example, you are using the Python 3.12, for example, and when you submit your mid exam, I'm using 3.13. So there might be some conflict. Can you understand? Okay. For example, you are using 3.12 and my computer, I'm using 3.13. And then when you submit it to my computer, so there might be some conflict when I check your code. So please pay attention that whenever you submit your mid exam or your assignment, please also include your virtual environment so I can check what version that you are using now for your development. And you can see this one. Where is the Python part? Yeah, and then you can check you are using the Python 3.14. Okay. So my computer may be different with yours because you already install Python and then maybe you upgrade, and so on. But this computer is new. So I think this computer is a fresh computer. So they install it from a new Python, which is 3.14. And then you can see this panel. Okay, so this panel, it is the first panel to show the FAST API. Okay. Now let's get back to the PowerPoint. Okay. If you are using the Python, okay, so you need to create a new project with the Python, and then we need to set up the Python interpreter. Even though you already use the setup in the beginning, but it is good if you look at the Python interpreter one more time. I use this method because if you are using the Python script at the beginning, you can go to Soljong setting, and then you can go to the which one? Oh, Python interpreter. Okay, so in this Python interpreter, yeah, you can see this is the interpreter that I'm using now. And then you can see all the package that has been installed in this interpreter. If you see the FAST API, and then if you see UVCon, then those are the basic library to run the FAST API. Okay. So one more time, if you see the FAST API and then the UVCon, then those two libraries are enough to run the FAST API at the first time. But if you cannot see that one, so you need to install it in your environment. So select the Python interpreter. You can select this one, or if your computer cannot see this interpreter, you can add the interpreter juga. So there are some interpreter that you can select whether you want to use the local or using the SSH, WSL, Docker, or Docker Compose. If you are just using the local, yeah, you can press this one, and then you can select whether you want to create a new one or you want to use the existing one. So as I mentioned to you, or every project, I think it's better for you to create the virtual environment, okay, .venv, because you already have your interpreter, then you can skip this one. So if you don't have the FAST API and UVCon, you need to install it. I give you the comment here how to install the FAST API and UVCon. So Fast API is the library for the Fast API, and UVCon is the library to run Fast API on the web. You can see this symbol. So in the Python section, you can see on the left below part, okay, there is a button here, and this is the terminal. When you turn on this terminal, then you can see this DOS environment. So this is the VENV or the virtual environment, and then you can type anything. For example, yeah, let me just install again. Okay, Fast API and UVCon. Okay, because everything is already there, then there is no such kind of problem for the library. Okay. Now let's try to deal with the first file. Whenever we do with the Fast API, we will use the Python file, and we need to create the Python file, which is .py, and the main function that we use is using the main.py. Okay. So this is the default by Fast API, but actually we can change. Okay. We can change later. So we can create the Python file, and then let's put the name main.api. At the first, actually, I want to show with this code. Okay. But the Fast API, they already give you something more advanced with with two functions. Okay, so let's see one by one. The first line is to get the Fast API from the library Fast API that we install. And then the next part is to create a new object. So app is an instance from the class Fast API. So once you create the instance, we can call the app. So calling the app is using the command add the app.get, and then this is to represent the hook. Def, I think you know in Python there is a function syntax. So we are going to make a function, and in this function name, this is the root function. Yeah, you can define the function name as you want. Let's say we are using the root or read root or anything. And then we are going to return this with a message, and the message is hello Fast API. Okay, it means whenever we run this, I will see the message hello Fast API. Okay, so this is the explanation. This is the line by line. This is the app object, and then UVCon will use this to get the information from this Fast API. We have the path. We call this is path. So it is the URL. When we visited this web, it will visit the URL with the HTTP method. So it is an associated function, yeah, like this one, the read root. This is the associated function that will be executed. So the function read root will be executed and return a message hello Fast API. So there will be a message for this one. So you can run the code. Okay. in the top, okay, you can see there is a play button. You can run and you can see if the code contains error or not. If you look at this syntax, we are using the python.exe -m, and we call uvicon, and we call the main. The main is the main.py, and we are going to run the app. So we are going to run the app, and we do the reload. So this is one of the parameter from the fast API. If you want to see the details, you can go to this environment. Okay. So this is the directory where you save all your files. So let's say, okay, maybe I need to check C users IME PyCharm project. Then, yeah, this is where the files that I created for my project. Okay. It means when you submit your code for the assignment or the mid exam, so please use this folder. And yeah, you can say something like, if you do this one and then you, yeah, you can do with the uptook, and then you can put the zip as the extension, and then you can submit it. And then you can see that the uvicon running on this web. Okay, so you can click this web. Now there is a message, hello world. Okay, so this message belongs to the code that you have here. So here the first line is just calling the REST API. Here is to make a new object app, and then this is the hello world. The message hello world is from the home. It means when we have no particular link, it will go to the home and the message will be hello world. Okay. Now, if you look at the details, in the course materials, when you use the Python script, okay, you cannot see the result, okay, because it is only a Python script. So the Python script will just give you like this one, the process finished with the exit code 0, and you need to execute the uvicon. So like what I mentioned to you, we need to call the uvicon main colon app dash reload. Okay, so you need to use this one in the terminal. So you need to open the terminal and type this one to run it. But because we already have the fast API in our environment, that's why we don't need to use this one. Okay, so we just need to click this one and then you can see this one. So actually this is the same. Okay, so you just type this one and then you can get the result. If you're just using the Python environment, it means you need several more steps to run the fast API. Now, yeah, you can see the result when you run the code. This is the code. This is the default code. 127.0.0.1. So usually we call this is localhost. Okay, whenever you create your new website, it will use this IP address, or sometimes we call it localhost. And for fast API, they use this port number. The port number, actually there are many kind of port numbers, but most of the web in the original or in the default number they use 8,000. Maybe other kind of website they will use 5,000. Some other website like if you use the MySQL for connection, I think they use like 5,500. So yeah, it depends on their setting. So you need to check those kind of setting. For FAST API, you use the port number 8,000. If you access the website, there are some options. You can see this one, pretty print. So pretty print means you want to see in the format of a kind of dictionary. So if you click this one, then this is a format of dictionary. If you already know Python, okay, we have dictionary with the curly braces. So this is the key, and this is the value. Okay. When you want to show this one, then it will show the value from the message. The other thing that we need to know is we can use the user interface to show the result. To show the user interface, they call it Swagger UI. So this Swagger UI, it is to produce the documentation of the FAST API, and you can put /doc. So let me show you. If we put additional link /docs like this, then you can see the FAST API documentation. So there are two kind of the documentation. The first is root. Okay. When you click the root, it shows some more details like the parameters. There is no parameters. And then the response, the code 200 means no problem. So your website runs well. If there are some errors, they will show the error message here. And the application now, it is JSON or JavaScript object notation. So we will learn more about JSON later. And we are using the value string for the result. I will explain this section, hello, later. And the other thing that we can see is the Open API JSON. So FAST API, actually, it generates a schema. It uses the Open API specification. This specification determines how to define the API path parameters, and so on. The API schema defined by the Open API standard decides how the data is sent using the JSON schema. So JSON is JavaScript object notation. So if you open using this, you can see the JSON schema. Maybe it is too complicated to see this one, so you can use the pretty print. When you click the pretty print, then now this is a format of dictionary. We are using the Open API version 3.1. This is the FAST API version, this one, and the path. Okay, the paths, when you just go to the home, it will connect to the root. Okay. So this is root, and then the response is 200. It means no problem, or the website runs perfectly, and the response is successful. So this is another link. So we are going to take a look later about this. So this is the web schema, and maybe I'm not going to discuss now. By the time we will take a look more details about this. And the other thing from this code is we can also look the documentation, or we call this is the automatic documentation, and it is provided by Redoc. So you can put the extension Redoc and you can see the documentation. Redoc. Okay, so when you use the Redoc, you will see the documentation directly about the root, and this is the second one. So let's look at those later. Okay, they have the get. You can see that the get is in this link, and then it shows perfect 200 means there is no error, and the application type is JSON. So if there's a kind of data, so you can just copy it. So I will explain this, say hello later. In some of the cases, because we already have the fast API, I think you don't need to deal with this one. Okay. If you look at this code, actually I'm also adding one more statement. Okay. So this statement, if you learn the Python, this is the main method. In the main method, okay, you can see I'm going to run immediately. So I'm going to run with the UVCon, and I'm going to run the main2 colon app. So in this one, let's say I'm creating the main2.py. So I'm not using the main.py, but I'm creating the main2.py, and this is the code of main2.py. So you can specify the file name. So if I'm using the main2.py, then I need to specify here. I'm using the main2 for building the app, and you can run in your PyCharm environment. So if, okay, let's see, if I include this one, actually I don't need this one because I already have the fast API here. Now I'm using the main API, so let me just remove this, and then the UVCon. Okay, the UVCon, there is a problem here because we need to import the UVCon. So let me just import the UVCon, and everything goes well. When you run this, actually nothing. Yeah, the result is the same because this UVCon means this UVCon. Okay. Even though it is double, but there is no issue. So if you run with your Python script without the fast API project like in PyCharm, you can use this statement. Okay. So the result is the same. Okay. There is no difference. Yeah, you can run with this button, play button, in order to run the code. Yeah. Or yeah, if you need to specify the port number, or if you need to specify the IP address, then you can specify it in this section. For example, the host I'm using is 127.0.0.1 and the port number is 8000. So I can specify here and then I can run again with the specific host number and port number. If you are using the PyCharm, actually you can set up in this one free action the boogie. So when you click this one, there are some option. You can go to edit 편집. So here, this is the setting. What kind of environment you are going to use? In this case, I'm going to use the UVCon. And I'm going to run on the main.py. The action is reload. And because there is no such kind of other information, they will use the basic port number and the basic IP address. Here, if you need to have more log or something, so PyCharm gives you some easy way to deal with the Fast API environment. If you want to set up the environment variables, you can set up also here. For example, you want to connect with the Python or you want to connect with some other files, then you can add this one. Oh, okay, then let's have a break. Okay, I'll continue after the break.